Alright guys, we need to talk. No, it's not that serious. But guys, I mean, it's 2020. We have smartphones, we have smart TVs, smart watches maybe even. But when it comes to our aquarium, it's not really that smart, is it? I mean, let me know in the comments, guys, who is still using one of these? I know I am. So let me know in the comments if you're using these and how much do you hate them. So yeah, I think the whole aquarium hobby is a little bit behind when it comes to smart techniques, technology. I mean, the light on this aquarium behind me I can control with my phone, but that's about it really. Of course you can buy the new Felix smart computer, but that thing costs about $500, $600, $700. I don't know if you want to spend that kind of money. So I think I found a nice way to make our aquariums a little bit smarter, and that is with a smart socket. This is a smart socket from Hombly. I'll leave the Hombly website in the description. Go check it out. So with this socket, I mean, you can connect this to your Wi-Fi. It has a smartphone app, and you can connect it to your Google Home or Amazon Alexa, something like that. So if you open this up, I mean, it's just a socket. But if you compare it to this, I'll definitely go for this one. So this thing has some pretty cool features. So let's set it up and then see what we can do with it. I'm going to set it up on the aquarium behind me and use it for the CO2 system, because on the CO2 system I'm still using one of these crappy things. So let's do that right now. Okay, so we're now inside the cabinet. And here we have the light, the filter in the CO2 system. So the CO2 is set up on a timer on these old bulky things. So there's an extension cord for 4 sockets, but I can't even use the 4th socket because this thing is blocking it here. So let's get rid of this thing. And let's plug in the Hombly socket. Alright, that's a lot better already. Okay, so the socket is now blinking. So now we need to connect this socket to the Wi-Fi, and then I'm going to download the Hombly app and set up the whole schedule for the CO2 system. Okay, so the socket is now installed on my CO2 system. So let's go to the App Store and let's download the Hombly app. Search for Hombly. There it is. Let's download it. Hombly is smart home for everyone. Okay, so now we need to register or log in with an existing account. I already have an account. If you don't have an account, you just need to give them your email address. That's it. Okay, so now we are in the home screen. And now we can add our smart socket. So we click Add Device. Now we can see here that they have a whole bunch of things. They have a smart socket, they have a smart socket duo, smart switch, they have cameras, they have sensors, lights as well. But we just have a smart socket, so let's continue. Power on the device, tap continue when the indicator light flashes rapidly. If the indicator light is not flashing, see help. Let's see. Mine is flashing. Let's continue. We need to put in the Wi-Fi password. Be right back. Okay, so I typed in the Wi-Fi password. Now it just needs to connect for a second. Alright, here we go. Added successfully. So I already named this socket CO2 system. If you want, you can just, of course you can name it to whatever you have it connected to. If you have it to your LED light or to your external filter, you can just name it to whatever you want it to be. And then we click done. So now I have the CO2 system here. If you click on that, then there's a big power button in the middle of the screen. So if you tap that, now the CO2 system just turned on. Let's turn it off again. Okay, so for me the best feature about this whole smart socket is the fact that you can put up a schedule. So if we go to schedule and we add a schedule, then we can set the time frame for how long we want the CO2 system to be on. So my lights on this aquarium, they go on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I want the CO2 system to start an hour and a half earlier. So we're going to start the CO2 at 12:30. So we add a schedule for 12:30 and you click on repeat because we want the CO2 to be on every day of the week. So you just tap every day of the week, you go back. Now you can add a note. I don't need to add a note. But what you can also do is you can add a notification. So now every time at 12:30 you will get a notification, hey, pay attention, CO2 just turned on. I like that. And of course at 12:30 we want the power to be on, so we click power on. And we save that schedule. Now we need to make another schedule because we also want the CO2 system to turn off. So we click again on schedule. I want the CO2 to turn off at 9 o'clock. So we make another schedule for 9. Repeat it every day. Again, I want a notification and I want the power to switch off. So that's it. So now we have the schedule for the CO2 system turned on. Super simple. Okay, so those schedules for me is the best thing about this smart socket, because that's what's replacing these old-fashioned things. Of course, there's some other functions. So let's go back to the app. And on the bottom right, you'll see energy. So if you click on energy, here you can see exactly how much electricity the appliance is using. So of course, now it says 0 because you haven't really used anything yet. But so here you can exactly keep track of how much electricity your equipment is using. It shows you the power, the voltage and the total kilowatts of electricity you're using. I think this is a really nice feature as well, especially if you want to try to keep your electricity costs low. Let's go back to the home screen. Okay, so we checked out the schedule, we checked out the energy button. There's one more button here that's for timer. So if you click on timer, so here you can set a timer for up to 24 hours. I'm not really sure yet what we can do with this. Maybe if you have a smart socket attached to your light, and let's say you're going to bed, but you still want the lights to be on for another hour, something like that, you can put a timer for an hour, and then after 1 hour the lights will turn off. So I don't know if I'll be using the timer, but it's nice to have. So the energy, the timer and the schedule, those are like the 3 functions that I'll probably be using the most. If you go back, then there's actually some more things that we can do with this. On the bottom here you'll see scenario. And there in this tab you can do a whole bunch of other stuff that's a bit too complicated for me. You could have your smart socket connecting with the weather conditions outside, or you can pair it with a camera or a sensor or something like that. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to stick to the schedules, the timer and the energy tab. So I think these smart sockets really have a place in our hobby. I mean, we use lights, we use filters, CO2, heaters, skimmers. And how easy would it be if we could control all these things with our smartphone, you know? If you really want to impress your friends and family, you can also download the Google Home app, and then you can do stuff like this. Turn on CO2 system.
Got it. Turning on CO2 system.
See, it's turning on your CO2 system. Right guys, that's it. A little introduction into smart sockets. I think these things cost about 20-25 euros, something like that. So it's just a very affordable way to make your equipment a little bit smarter. Again, I'll leave the link to Hombly in the description. Go check that out as well. I want to say thank you to Hombly for letting me test out some of their smart products. I'm going to end the video here guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.